My 29M girlfriend, 28F, went on a trip across the country with a guy she only knew through text. Hello all. Usually I'm just a lurker, but I'm in a situation where I think some external input on my situation might help because I don't know if I'm overthinking the situation or overreacting, so I made this throwaway account. Any suggestions, insight from both men and women's perspective would be greatly appreciated. Also, I apologize in advance for the long read. So a little background info. My GF, 28F, and I, 29M, have been dating for a little over 2 years. I've known her for 5 years before that. Our relationship is just like any other. We spend a lot of time together, do activities and have fun. She has depression and overthinks every little thing. I try to be as supportive as I can when her depression sets in and give her all the space, if she needs it, to recover. I try to be there for her any way I can. I assure her that I love her and tell her that I'm there for her whenever she needs me. I work a full-time job and I'm studying for my exam, in Sept, to get a professional certification in my field, while she also works a full-time job, due to which we only get to see each other once a week nowadays. I think this part is relevant, so I'll just add it here. She has a lot of guy friends and I know about a few of them. 2 of which she's known forever, let's call them Bob and Carl, and she hangs out with them whenever she gets the chance. I don't mind her having majority male friends, it's not a big deal for me, and I'm not insecure about it either. Whenever she talks about one of her friends, she'll name them since I know of them, X. Bob the guy with glasses or Carl the one I met at Shisha Place, etc. And the ones I don't know about, she'll address them as my friend, or my guy friend. I never really cared much about their names since it's not relevant and she doesn't see them often or they're not that close or part of her friend group. So back in around end of May, she told me that she wanted to travel across the country and since I have an exam coming up, asked if it was okay if she goes with Bob. I told her it was not a problem, she should go and have some fun since it's been very long she hasn't had any vacation. Fast forward to last month. We started having some small fights about something that bothered me and I told her about it. She works out and has a great body, but I don't like it when she sends Snapchats of her posing, showing her ass to about 18 people, a mass snap, including me, 6-7 of her girlfriends and the rest are guys. How I know? I was able to tell because it wasn't specific to me and I confronted her about it and she admitted to it. I told her how I felt about her doing that and she said it's not a big deal. Then she stopped doing it, but I feel like whenever she goes into depression, and starts to recover a bit, she does it again to get attention from these other guys. When she did it again, I had a talk with her which turned into an argument because she was already having some issues with 2 of her girlfriends. Because of our argument she stopped talking to me for about a week and a half. Also, this was around the same time when she was supposed to go on her trip. So when she reached out again last week after she cooled down, we were fine and she told me that she couldn't go on the trip because Bob kept pushing it, canceling due to work reasons. And she regrets not going with Carl since he was already there but his trip was coming to an end. She tells me then that she's going to go alone but was unsure about it. I asked whether she was going to meet up with Carl and come back within a few days or if she's going with her sibling. She said no, she's going alone and meeting up with a guy friend over there. I asked who was the guy. She just kept it vague. Oh, just a guy friend I know. I didn't want to push it to get information out of her and end up having another argument again when we just made up, so I let it slide and told her to book her tickets and go have fun, she really needs it. I forgot to ask her how long she was going for and assumed it'd be for maybe 4 or 5 days. She has friends who she texts here and there who live in that part of the country, but I doubt she's met them in person. Because I remember her telling me that a couple of them were in her online classes. That's how she knows them. I'm assuming this is one of them. Now she is there and we talk here and there because I don't want her to be texting me this whole time, I'm letting her enjoy her time. But she did tell me that she's gone for 10 days and will be returning next week. She sends Snapchats of her doing whatever activity, going out to dinners and drinking, but it's only her in the snaps and never shows who she's with. Now, I want to know whether this is normal behavior concerning her sending Snapchats of her booty to all her guy friends and whether it's appropriate of her to go to the other side of the country in a city where she doesn't know anyone, never been to, and with a guy who she never met in person before but now. BTW, I am planning on asking her about this guy once she returns next week to get a better idea of who this is. Assuming this is the first time ever she's meeting this guy friend and only ever talked to over text before, please let me know if this is crossing the line and violating a boundary. Because she knows full well I wouldn't approve of this for various reasons. Would any of the women do this or think it's alright? And #X200B. TDLR. GF, 28F. Sends Snapchats of her posing and showing ass to all her guy friends, and she went on a trip across the country to meet with a guy friend, assuming it's the first time she's meeting him in person. Is it appropriate or wrong, or am I just overthinking and overreacting? Please help. And #X200B. Edit. Thank you all for your comments. I really appreciate it. Even though I was already thinking it, I guess I just needed to hear it from someone else. There's no point sitting at a table where you're respected. I'll have a talk with her once she returns, to see what she says, but ultimately I think I will break it off. I'm sorry young man, I have to tell you this, she play you like fool and you indeed a fool. Dude, you're her safe place. She can explore anything and anyone and go back and be with you until her next adventure. By the way, have her get STD test before you touch her. Bro. She's cheating. She's been cheating. Right now, your girlfriend is getting her back blown out by some random dude, and you're asking if you're overreacting. Get all her shit packed up and have it waiting for her when she gets back. Then send her back to the streets where she belongs. And get tested again. She's been hoeing around for most of your relationship. Those guy friends? Yeah. They've been blowing her back out on the regular, too. JFC. Major line crossing to go on a trip with someone she just met. My girlfriend went on a trip across the country with a guy. No more info is required to end the relationship. Didn't even read the post. It's not necessary. That's how obvious it is you need to end this. Don't be a chump. Hey man, you seem like a nice dude, but at some point, you gotta wonder if they are just using you for the emotional support and not as a long-term partner. If she's going to cut you out for that long over a fight regarding monogamy and something important to your comfort while you provide understanding and support, you really should just reconsider. I'm not sure where you are emotionally yourself, but please know you have value, my dude. Even if she might be a catch, sometimes it's best not have to keep catching them and let the damn fish swim away if it wants to keep jumping out of the boat. So are they sharing a room every night? Your GF's got strong cheater energy and I think you know this. Having friends of the opposite sex is totally fine, but your girlfriend isn't keeping it to friendship. Whenever she needs to stroke her ego, she's seeking validation from all the guys around her. What happens when she has a really low day or she has to go the extra mile to get that validation? BF wants to break up because I'm his first and he wants to see what else is out there. BF, 23M, of 6 years got the courage to tell me, 23F, that he is afraid and feels awful because he sometimes feels like he doesn't appreciate me enough after looking at other random hot girls and imagining what it would be like with them. Relationship and sex, not just sex. After that he kinda doesn't feel attracted to me physically. Not that we don't have sex, we do. We openly talk about what we like, want, etc. But he feels disgusted by himself when he thinks of what and how would he feel in other relationship, and he feels like it's cheating. Also, no, since it's the whole relationship thing, sex with other women wouldn't do it for him. Sex for him has to be with emotional connection. I've told him that if that solves his problem, I'd be okay with it, but it's not just about physical attraction. Backstory. We have been bad times, but much more good and happy days. We are best friends and we have so much respect for each other. We never cheated, we argue and talk it out, we are honest even if it's hard and if it hurts. He is family I chose. And we both feel like it. We both get along so well with each other's family. If I lose him, I lose my best friend, my rock, my happy and secure place. He is not just a crush. He feels the same way and doesn't want to lose me, he loves me, he is caring and wonderful to me. We do feel attraction for one another, but the main problem is that it's his first relationship. I've been cheated on and played by previous partner, and I know how good it is for me to know that this man truly cares. He on the other side can't say that he wants to spend his life with me. He is afraid of letting me down. He thinks that emotionally he has everything with me. I am the best and the worst he ever had, and he just doesn't know what to think. I'm not mad at him. I want to help and be supportive, but it is so hard, and I know how much courage took him to tell me that, and I'm proud of him. The thing is, we both know we would be broken so bad, sad and miserable, and we don't want that. We joked that it would be the best if we could freeze me in time so I don't feel the pain, and if, when the time comes for him to get back, I'm there waiting. I don't want or need anything at all with no one other than him, but it makes me sad to even think how a day when we are not there for each other feels like. I had few panic attacks while we talked about it, and it scared him so bad. I cried for 3 days out of fear and scare, and it was so hard for him too. He wiped my tears, hugged me, held me down, helped me breathe, helped me get some sleep. I just want him to be happy, also with me. Few cold sweat smile I can't blame him. We don't have a reason to break up, and we never do things to hurt each other on pure ops so. No, we agreed that we are together, and if we hurt each other so bad or do something awful. We just don't want to lose something that is so secure and beautiful. Same thing happened to my cousin and his GF. She was his first girl ever and he wasn't at peace. They broke up after 9 years. They both had few partners but felt miserable trough that year, got back together and are engaged and happy. But I was there for him and there wasn't a day where he wouldn't be miserable. Now they are in a good place. I feel so scared. The grass is not always greener on the other side, but some people need to mow different lawns to realize that. If you want to wait around, then do so. Just a word of advice though, continue living your best life while you do it. Who knows, you may find a better lawn to build your forever home. I know it's hard, but lose him. He's flat out telling you he doesn't want you anymore, he wants to look for something better, and if that fails he'll come back to you. Why would you want a man who doesn't want you? Let him go, then find even better for yourself. You need to cut your losses and just leave. I know at some level there's always some FOMO, but he wants to leave you. A perfectly happy relationship. Just to know what it would be like to fuck and date other women. It's gross. Please do yourself a favor and don't even consider waiting around until he's done and allow him to come right back once he's had his fix. Find someone who kisses the ground you walk on and doesn't lust over the idea of other women. He might tell you that he wants actual relationships and not just sex, but I feel like that's a half-truth. This is a grass is greener situation. Instead of looking at what he has, he is looking at what he could have. He will get there and realize it wasn't what it seemed. The truth for all relationships is that after the honeymoon phase, relationships are a choice and are work. You have to choose to be a part of them and work on them. They don't just function on their own. Sad news for him, those questions never go away. He belongs to the streets, op. I don't ever understand people who feel this way, but if he wants to break up with you to sleep with randoms, I believe that you can do better. You're better off going your separate ways than to try to maintain a relationship with someone suffering from FOMO. It sucks, but this indicates that he's not ready for a serious relationship. He's going to keep feeling resentment if you guys stay together. Honestly, this would be a huge deal-breaker for me. If someone loves me, they wouldn't have any hesitation or regrets. Let him sow his wild oats and find a new man. It's insulting if he expects you to wait around. I, 25M. Told my friend, 26M. A secret that somehow got back to my wife, 23M. Hello everyone. I thought I would post here because I need advice from people who aren't biased or close to the situation. English isn't my first language. To start, I've been friends with Mark since we were in diapers and I trust him with my life. Our friendship went sour when I was 15 and met my current wife, Jessica. He felt like I replaced him and I tried my hardest to keep our friendship going. He got a girlfriend, Sarah, a couple of months after I and Jessica got together and everything went back to normal. Recently Mark and Sarah split up after being married for the last 4 years for reasons I don't know. He told me to come over and hang out with him so he doesn't feel lonely, so I did, with my wife's permission of course. The reason I mention this is so you guys can get the gist of what our relationship is usually like. Mark was complaining about Sarah and said that he felt bad about wasting 10 years of his life on her just to not value their relationship. He went on about how he put the most onto their relationship and she didn't even acknowledge their anniversary. I said to him that he'll find someone who would complement him perfectly and has the same needs as him. That's when he asked what my wife got me for our anniversary. I think it was him trying to compare what I got to what he did. I said that my wife didn't get me anything because she didn't feel the need to. He said that I should reevaluate the relationship if that's how she acts. I called him ridiculous and said that while she didn't care about giving me gifts for any reason or even say anything if it's my birthday or our anniversary, that I still really love her and I'd always be with her. He told me that he said the same thing about Sarah and that I should still think about it. The night ended great, but when I went home Jessica was already in bed. I joined her and didn't wake up until later. She began getting cold to me for some reason I didn't know why, and every time I asked she just brushed it off. It came to a head when we were watching a reality TV show and she said, "Oh look, a relationship where a man doesn't care about materialistic crap." I was confused and it led to a one-sided argument where she spoke and I listened. She said that I was a bad person and I couldn't just be happy with her and I have to complain to all my friends about her. I only told Mark, so I was a bit confused on how that is all my friends, but as she went on she said that she'd never wanted to be with someone like me who would push my misogynistic ways on her. I don't really know how she found out I told Mark about her not liking gifts or how it's misogynistic. After she finished yelling she left to go stay with her mom. Now the rest of her family is texting me saying that I'm wrong for being mean to her. I love her, I really do, but I don't know how to deal with this. I need some help to figure out what to do. Too long did not read. I went to my friend's house and in an attempt to he compared my wife to his ex-wife. He asked about gifts. I told him I get her gifts but she doesn't like getting me gifts. Somehow my wife found out and got mad at me before going to her mom's house. Sounds like your friend set you up and is out to ruin your marriage. That way you would be in the same situation as him, and have time for him again. Reevaluate this friendship and talk to your wife to clear up the misunderstanding. If not, you may wind up separated permanently. So the only thing we know is that Mark contacted your wife. There's a lot we don't know. Why? Was he 1. Interested in her 2. Wanting for you to be single? Misery loves company 3. So outraged and projecting that he wanted to tell her off. We also don't know what he said to her, or how he contacted her. I think you need to find both of these things out. You know what you said. But you don't know what he said that you said. Does he have her number? Or Facebook? She acted this way that same night after you got home? So either Mark called and gave his version of the story? But why would she automatically take his side? A man who's obviously bitter from his own relationship failing? Also, that's not what was said at all. At least according to you? Some suggested an affair? Do they have that opportunity? Is it common for them to be alone? Maybe an emotional, sexting affair? Have you talked to Mark? Have you asked your wife where she's getting this from? Has anybody tried talking? Mark may have a point. LMAO. Everyone confides in other people about their relationship problems. Men and women do it alike. As long as you don't go overboard, then it's fine. To get this angry over you telling a friend that you don't receive gifts? Whack. That being said, find out what exactly was said. Did the friend say that you were complaining at the lack of gifts or STH? 'Cause wife's reaction makes kinda sense. This is harsh. Are you sure there is nothing going on between Mark and your wife? Cut out Mark from your life. He is a wolf and not a friend. Why is your wife acting so weird, creeping? She sounds a bit immature and needs to communicate with you on matters, not just attack. She doesn't have all the facts. She sounds like she was looking to pick a fight too, actually. Looking for an excuse to start an argument. Now she suddenly trusts other people's words and opinions outside of your marriage? Those matter more? Not good. Talk to her. Defend yourself. Cut off Mark forevermore. He doesn't feel lonely, so I did, with my wife's permission of course. You're a fucking doormat, dude, and your best friend is right. You latched onto the first girl who gave you any attention and you accept treatment from her like this because you're her bitch. Grow a fucking sack, dude. You're a loser. Make it clear you didn't complain about her at all and that you find her behavior and overreaction very suspicious. The fact that she didn't talk this through with you and instead threw a huge tantrum speaks volumes. Tell her you think it's best she stays with her parents for a while because you need to think about some things. Take a few days with no contact to get your head straight. If she messages you, ignore it or tell her you will contact her when you're ready and that you need space to decide if you see a future with someone who behaves like her. Also block the friend. Clearly he's at the heart of all this. Was it my fault? TW. For context, this Sunday is me and my boyfriend's 3-month anniversary. So far we've only had the usual relationship problems. Nothing where it has been toxic or to the point of breaking up. We have always talked it out and got over it together. But I was lying to him about my virginity the entire time. I did tell him just yesterday, but I'll get to that point. I was raped, not in the sense that I was physically held down, but my first time I was pressured and manipulated into doing it. I even said no and that it hurt and the person had kept going. Before this had happened he would touch me without consent a lot of times, but since he was my best friend's older brother I felt like I could do nothing. So because of that, I had kept my virginity private and have always told everyone who I would romantically get with that I was one. I had never done anything sexual with anyone other than my rapist and my current partner. I wanted to forget about my virginity forever. Tell no one, and that's what I did. I told my boyfriend when we first met that I was a virgin, but I had started feeling guilty lately and just yesterday night it got to me. So I explained and I told him. He did not take it good. Nor in the way that I thought he would. I told him straight up that I was pressured into it and raped and he got mad. The maddest he's ever gotten. I'm gonna copy and paste our conversation. TW. I explained and this was his response, copy and pasted. BF. Why would you keep that from me? Do you have any idea how serious that shit is, and for you to tell me that a virgin and shit? It makes me wonder how much other shit you lie to me about. I understand you wanted to forget about it, but you never should have kept it from me until our almost 3rd month dating. Like, wow, that really hurts me. Me. I know it's serious, I am sorry. BF. Do you have any idea how mad I am, RN? 'Cause I really am. It really questions you if you're lying to me about other stuff, and it makes me super fucking upset. Why would you ever fucking lie to me? That continues on, and then it gets to this part which really hurt me. BF. I don't know how to feel anymore. That just caused me a lot of thoughts, and it made me have bad thoughts. IDK anymore. Me. I just wanted to erase THT memory. BF. Am I not good enough? To tell her own trauma and tell me so I can help you? Am I not good? There's a bunch of other stuff, but that was the main parts that hurt me. I need advice on whether or not I'm wrong here, and if I should be feeling so shitty even after the next day. He's apologized and told me he forgives me, but this is something I can't get over. If I'm in the wrong here, please be brutally honest. Nope. You were raped and he makes it all about him. Any semi-reasonable person would understand that this is a huge, painful and personal thing to reveal. It's fairly soon to tell, even at the 3-month mark. At no point did he express concern for you or even anger at your attacker. He's just focused on how hurt he is. Dude's not a keeper. Be glad you didn't sleep with him. If the topic of virginity comes up again, just say that's private. Dump his sorry ass. You confessed to him about a painful secret and he made it all about him. He's an asshole. He needs to grow up and learn how to be a human being. This was not your fault. You get to decide who you tell or if you tell anyone about your traumatic past. Your boyfriend behaved very badly and showed you who he is. You deserve better. 3 months together and this is the first real fight you have? Leave him now. What a fucking narcissist. This man is trash. There is nothing to forgive you for. Not that virginity is anything but a social construct, but you were a virgin. Rape absolutely doesn't count. This dude prided himself on taking something from you. Now you've wounded his pride because some piece of shit got it first. There was nothing to get. You're not some prize. You're a grown-ass woman who's worth more than the number of dicks you've had inside you. Kick him to the curb forever. He made you feel the need to apologize for being raped. Nope, nope, nope. Whoa, that is an awful reaction to what would be considered your first hurdle, so to speak. TBH, this is usually a deal-breaker for a lot of people. This was self-absorbed, disgusting, and insensitive behavior. I saw you wanted to continue the relationship since he understands now. Be hella careful proceeding forward. Nope. No. Nah. You get away from that sorry excuse right this instant, or I swear I will find you, befriend you, and once close enough to him, I'll drag him daily for how he acted here. You listen to me. You do not owe anyone an explanation of your trauma. No one. My husband, you know, father of my children, did not know about what happened to me as a kid until we had been married for probably 2 years. That was when I was ready, and he was grateful that I felt comfortable sharing it with him. Honey, this man doesn't deserve to lick the ground you walk on.